Welcome to the session on Instructional Design, a development course to help you train employees effectively. In today's session, we will talk about the basics of training process, the instructional design model, effective training delivery techniques, and evaluation of training outcomes. Let's start by covering the basics of training. Training is the process of developing specific skills and knowledge in individuals to reach desired standards through instruction and practice. It aims to equip employees with the capability to perform their job effectively, efficiently, and conscientiously. The core aspects of training include: training enhances employee knowledge, skill, and attitude for job performance. It focuses on improving capabilities, capacity, productivity, and overall performance. Most importantly, continuity. Beyond initial competence, training continues throughout one's working life to maintain, upgrade, and update skills relevant to their trade, occupation, or profession. In order to create effective training material and programs, we must learn instructional design. It is the process of creating learning material. It considers how people learn and what methods can make learning more effective. The instructional design process can be understood using the ADDIE model. It is a 5-phase instructional design framework encompassing analysis, design, development, implementation, and evaluation. This model serves as a structured approach to creating effective learning experiences. Consider this case study. Your plant has been experiencing an increase in workplace accidents and near misses over the past year. Management is concerned about the safety culture within the organization and wants to implement a comprehensive safety training program to address these issues. What would be your first step? The first step, as per the ADDIE model, is analysis. This phase requires a complete analysis of the instructional goals and objectives. At this stage, your main objective is to understand the problem that is to be solved. We try to find out the instructional goals. What is the goal of this training? What impact do you want to create through this training? And we also try to perform a learner analysis. What is their skill level? What is their knowledge level? How is their attitude towards work and learning? So how exactly to understand the goal of the training program? This is a 4-step process which begins with defining organizational goals. These goals can be like ensuring quality assurance for final products, reduced breakdowns, increased efficiency. Next, we define relevant job behaviors to achieve these goals, which can be adherence to SOX, accountability, attendance. Then we define required knowledge and skills. It includes both operational knowledge and managerial knowledge. And lastly, we plan the trainings, such as behavior training, technical training. Let's go back to our experiment and understand this in depth. In the case of planning a safety training program, we should begin with defining the organizational goals. Some examples of the organizational goals of conducting the safety training can be as follows. Asking these questions can help us make specific goals. Reduced breakdowns. What safety measures can minimize equipment failures and disruptions? No fire incidents. How to prevent fire accidents through proper safety protocols and training. Increased efficiency. What can be done to improve overall efficiency by fostering a safe working environment? Then we identify what desired job behaviors will help meet these goals, which can include adherence to safety precautions. Employees must follow safety guidelines to minimize risks. Adherence to SOPs, standard operating procedures, ensuring compliance with established procedures to mitigate hazards. Accountability, employees should take responsibility for their actions and safety practices. Attendance, regular attendance at safety training sessions, and adherence to safety protocols during work hours. Once the goals and desired behaviors are identified, we need to check the existing knowledge and skill level of employees. These could be checking the level of operational knowledge, understanding of machinery, equipment, and processes relevant to safety. Managerial knowledge, awareness of safety regulations, emergency procedures, and the ability to enforce safety policies. Lastly, planning the required training, which will include defining the objective, develop a safety-oriented mindset among employees. Defining the content, importance of safety in the workplace, consequences of negligence, encouraging proactive safety behaviors, choosing the methods, interactive workshops, role-playing exercises, case studies, and assessment, observation of adherence to safety practices. Analysis phase also includes a very important analysis of learners. This is aimed to test the skills, knowledge, and attitude of the employees. It can be done by traditional tests, mocks, performance evaluation, etc. After the analysis phase comes the second phase, design. The second stage where you begin designing the course curriculum. This is where you perform an instructional analysis, plan the learning objectives, select the user interface and environment, map out the training methodology, choose the assessment method. The approach to design phase includes asking questions like instructional analysis. What topics do you plan to cover? What will be training methodology? What will be the training location? How much time do you have? Learning objectives. What will the learner achieve after completing the training? What are the learning outcomes? In our case study example, at the design stage we define the topics we plan to cover, which could be identification techniques, learning various techniques for identifying potential hazards in the workplace, risk assessment, understanding the process of assessing risks and implementing control measures to mitigate them effectively, emergency response, outlining the emergency response protocols for different scenarios. Another important component of the design stage also we determine the training methodology. The learning pyramid or cone of learning suggests that students typically remember approximately 10% of textual information from textbooks, but retain nearly 90% of what they teach to others. Thus, training methodology must be practice-centric and involve discussion and demonstrations. For example, we can use interactive workshops, demonstration, multimedia presentations, role-playing exercises and mock drills as the training methodology for our safety training program. Then comes the development stage. The third stage is where we prepare the training module and content. This includes creating content outlines, developing scripts, selecting the user interface and environment, mapping out time frames for each activity, and choosing the course progression. While developing your training module, here are some rules and reminders to keep in mind. 1. Less is more. 2. Appeal with logic. 3. Create clean and connecting content. Let's understand these in detail. Step 1. Less is more. Always brainstorm and make a list of all ideas for your topic. Then clean and remove unnecessary information. Prioritize on the more important topics and arrange them in an order of importance. Step 2. Appeal with logic. Try to include evidence, data, visual aids in all your content. Find examples and data to support your main points and present them in a logical flow. Step 3. Keep your content simple, interactive, and always summarize by repeating the key takeaways to make your instructional design memorable. This brings us to the fourth stage, implementation. The implementation stage focuses on the delivery of the training and project management. It includes implementation of communication plan, training delivery, creating training environment, executing learning activities, ensuring participation. While delivering, always follow this 3-step principle. Tell them what you are going to say. What is the agenda of presentation? What topics will you cover? How is it relevant to them? Tell them. State your 3 to 5 key points. Sum up each point before introducing next. Tell them what you've said. Review most important points. Restate the relevance for audience. Bring to logical closure. The most important part of implementing a training program is ensuring audience interaction. You can increase the participation from audience by using the following tricks. Applying these to our safety training case study. You can start with a question, asking about their prior experience in emergency situations, previous trainings, etc. State supporting fact data. You can mention data showcasing the frequency of incidents in absence of proper safety precautions. Tell stories. You can share personal incidents. Additionally, you can tell jokes and add quotes. Show a sense of urgency. Another way is to creating interest is making your audience aware of the necessity of the training and its importance in saving lives. While implementing and delivering your session, always remember to 1. Test your equipment. 2. Practice the lesson plan with a colleague. 3. Talk to your audience to ease the learning process. The last stage, evaluation. The evaluation stage assesses the overall success of the training program. It is in this phase that you can understand the effectiveness of the session and gain feedback on what needs to be improved. We use the Kirkpatrick's evaluation method. Then plan the training strategy and look at an effective feedback mechanism. Kirkpatrick is a 4-step evaluation model. With level 1 is reaction, where we try to understand how people are responding to the training. Level 2, learning outcomes. Here we test what knowledge and skills employees acquired. Level 3, behavior, where we see how behavior changes as a result of training. And lastly, level 4, impact, where we find out what is the impact of the training on business goals. In our case study example, we can test these 4 stages by including the following assessments. Firstly, to understand reaction, we can conduct Post-training surveys. Attendance records. Reviewing informal feedback. Next to evaluate learning. We can conduct pre- and post-training assessments. Observe participants during practical exercises or safety drills. Next, for behavior change. We can observe how many people follow safety protocols and procedures. Review incident reports or safety records. Lastly, to calculate the impact of our training, we should analyze data on workplace accidents, injuries, and safety incidents before and after the training. Compare the safety performance of teams which received training versus not trained. Cost saved. Thank you for listening. Training is a relentless activity. The more you practice it, the more you will learn.